What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode 27 of Lyon Live here in Football Manager 2019. Hopefully you guys are doing good. We're back today as always, and I thought we'd start on a player who, to be honest, is overdue a bit of attention this season. He's actually kind of turned a corner, I feel like. He's scored 5 goals so far in the league in 8 appearances, and 4 of those have been on off the bench. Joseph Martinez, a player who at the start of the season found themselves on the fringes of the team, has found some form, and with that form, I feel like it's time to adjust his asking price because he's earned it, at least for now. So we're going to up it to 30 million. I doubt we'll ever get a bid of £30 million for him, but he is slowly becoming a valuable member of the first team. Of course, if you don't know what I'm talking about, or perhaps you missed last episode, do go check it out as always. Much like the episode before that, there was a very dramatic final game to the episode. It was against Barcelona. I don't want to tell you anything more, but if you missed that for whatever reason, do go check it out before you continue watching this. I promise you, it's worth watching. But yes, since last episode, where things went blooming awesome, we are now going to start casting an eye ahead. We've got Saint Etienne, Toulouse and Guingamp today. We may also do the Salzburg game. However, it's quite late as I record this today, so we'll see how we get on. We might do 3 games, we might do 4. I'm all too aware of the fact that last time I said this, the episode ended up being an hour long anyway. I do promise you today that isn't going to be the case. I need you guys to be aware of that now. But, well, if that was some bad news, let me give you some good news. Ndombele has signed a new contract at the club. It's more than I'd like to be giving him, in all honesty, £65,000. But it does at least mean that one of our big kind of first team players is locked in the first team for the foreseeable future. So that is some good news there. Of course, Saint Etienne, who we have, are one of our big rivals here. In terms of the team, just thinking about the fact we are coming off the back of that previous game against Barcelona, we're going to need to rest some players. So let's do that. I don't know who's actually going to be fit for the game against Saint Etienne. We are probably going to need to do a bit of rotation for that game, but we'll see exactly how things look. Of course, it's going to be the Rhone derby. I'm hoping that we can get a good result against them. Our past record against Saint Etienne has been pretty good. I'm not even going to bother replying to their manager either in press conferences. You might have noticed watching this series, I don't really do the press conferences. I feel like in Football Manager terms, I think they do have an impact, but they're just a bit long. Maybe that's just me. Tell you what isn't long, Mario Ferreira, except his hair, that is long. 6'4", Sochaux, this team whose name I'm not going to butcher. 2 goals and 2 assists for him. This man is on fire. Like someone called the Fire Brigade. 9 goals, 10 assists in 16 matches. And he's developing a ton as well. That's the main thing. Wow. He looks like he could become a very, very good player if he can continue playing as he is. And, well, continue developing as he is right now. He looks top-notch. Still perhaps a little way away from our first team. But make no mistake, his performances, albeit in the league below us, are definitely catching my attention. Rashford has resumed full training finally. Of course, has been out with this injury for an extended period of time, a hamstring strain. Not ideal for him. Anyway, we are going to need to, I think, to do some rotation here. Although, actually, let's just have a look. Actually, I think we can probably get away with playing this team today. The only thing I've got to worry about is the fact we then have Toulouse midweek immediately afterwards. And then we have Guingamp, who are 5th in the league, not long after that. The fixtures, to be honest, coming thick and fast. The only bit of saving grace is the fact that that first game against Red Bull Salzburg, which will be the final game of the group stage, has absolutely no bearing on us. We are guaranteed to finish 2nd in the group, so we can rotate things for that match. So I can now shift a bit of a focus onto the league and domestic cup competitions that we're in. Anyway, let's submit our team for today's game. Am I sure that this is the team I want to lock in? Just a final check. You know what, I think it is. Joseph Martinez, I bigged you up at the start of today's episode. I need a big performance from you again today, please, sir. I'm just thinking about which system we're playing here. They are playing a extremely defensive system, to the point where I think we're going to play on the front foot and play on the attack. I mean, look at how horrifically defensive that is. I don't know what to say. They've got Selnays here. Didn't he go to China in real life? Maybe I'm wrong. Answers on a postcard. Yeah, we'll have to see how we get on. Hey, we've been on a good run lately, boys. Go out there and impress me. Hopefully, we can get a result here. We've been very good in the league as of late. and that has actually been mostly with a rotated 11. We're going to play the direct attacking system. It is what we're playing. Of course, Ndombele as the Mazzala on his new contract. I'm expecting massive things from him today. I'm expecting him to give us a £65,000 a week performance from centre midfield alongside Toussaint. But, well, this is going to be an interesting one. They are playing extremely conservative, at least in shape. And, well, set pieces might be our best bet to undo them. Wallace there with the free header, unfortunately, over the crossbar. But, well, we've got another one here. Fekir whipping it in back post. Toussaint's there, wins it. Ruffier with the stop. Thus far, we look solid. But the issue is that they're playing so defensively. We do actually need to break them down. It's all very good having all these shots, but there hasn't been that many clear-cut chances. And equally, they've got the potential to hit us on the break. Just like that. That was not far over the crossbar, that long shot. I recoiled a little bit in my chair there, kind of anticipating it to hit the back of the net. Fortunately for us, we have been let off there. Toussaint picks up a yellow card, which is perhaps a tiny bit concerning. Looks like at half-time, unless there's a late goal, which there's not going to be, it's going to remain 0-0 here. A teeny tiny bit concerning, perhaps. We have been massively on top. Auxerre are beating PSG. I mean, let's win this now, please. Because if PSG slip up and we win, we're in such a good position in the league. Beyond my wildest expectation in terms of position. You'd have to say that PSG this year have been very, very poor, haven't they? Do I want to make any tactical changes? Part of me feels like I need to change something to, I don't know, potentially make something happen. The other part of me thinks, we're playing so well, the goal's got to come eventually. I can continue with that mindset for a little while longer, I feel like. Of course, if we get to 20 minutes left, even 25 minutes left, that's when we might need to proceed to panic a little. That's when we might need to look at how our subs can impact this game. But at least for now, we're bringing the ball forward here. Ndombele going to Fekir. Now marauding on forward. A few players to his left and right. Switches it to Mendy, who has loads of space as the wing-back. Cuts inside, ball in, cleared away. Tete, have a go. TRAORE, an element of fortune as Tete's initial effort was blocked, but it fell to Bertrand TRAORE. First time finish for him. Only his 4th goal of the season. Was always going to be tricky for him to match his goal-scoring escapades of last season, because he was just our big standout player alongside Fekir. It's just not really materialised for him. I thought there might be a hint of offside there, but the linesman's flag remained down. And, well, we'll take it. I guess from the initial effort, he was onside. With Toussaint a booking, I'm going to take him off for Romero here. I'm also, I think, going to take out Depay, and I'm going to bring in Saint-Maximin just out on the left-hand side. I am kind of tempted to bring Aouar in for Fekir, who's been pretty poor today. Martinez has also been less than ideal. Of course, Aouar was just a top performer against Barcelona last episode. So I would like to give him a little bit more game time to reward him for that. You can see Montpellier losing against Marseille in a battle at the top of the table. With 10 minutes left, we've got one change left. Fekir struggling a little bit for fitness. Joseph Martinez really hasn't had a great game as our striker. I've bigged him up. This is the start of the decline for him. A second goal would help us just breathe perhaps a sigh of relief. Tete, edge of the box. Lucas Romero, I mean, I appreciate the ambition and the effort. On the volley, edge of the box, cleared away. Perhaps another set piece here. Aouar crosses it. Wallace, back post, hits the woodwork into the danger area and got clear. I mean, how is this only 1-0? They are persisting. They've suddenly changed now with seconds left of the game to a super attacking system. It's going to be too little, too late for them. I feel like. I mean, cue them to score with 20 seconds left of the game. But no, we've looked very, very dominant in this game. And whilst the scoreline isn't the most emphatic, 3 points at the end of the day is what matters. I've not noticed the PSG score flash up in the top left. It may well have done. It's going to be interesting to see where they are, although we can't stop just yet. Lopez clings on to it. That will be game, set and match with that, I imagine. 1-0. A good away win against our rivals. I don't want to speak too soon here. Just blow the whistle, please, ref. We've played 20 seconds over. As we go into their half now, I feel like I can talk. Maybe it's a bit soon. Martinez, Ndombele. I mean, there you go. Joseph Martinez with an assist. Suddenly, it's a great performance by him. Ndombele. I mean, I said that he needed a £65,000 a week player performance. I guess in scoring, he somewhat contributes to that. But yeah, 2-0. Suddenly, what I was saying about the fact it isn't the most emphatic goes out the window. 2-0 away from home against our big rivals. Probably should have been more. In fact, it certainly should have been more. We'll take it, though. That is a good performance capped off by that late goal. Good to see Joseph Martinez get an assist. That will, I imagine, help his rating for this game. And given how good his average rating's been this year, it would be a shame for it to be dragged down. You can see it got it up to a 6.9, perhaps an indication of how bad he was prior. Mendy at left back, a 7.7 for him. He is, I don't want to say it, Moreno, but he's kind of better than you at the moment at left back. But yeah, great performance there. That is a really, really good result. Did PSG draw? Yeah, they did. Mbappe got an equaliser. But we're 4 points ahead of them and have a game in hand and have significantly better goal difference. Shout out to Auxerre for really holding them firm. How did Lille get on? They won against Nantes. So they're in a good spot. They're actually even with PSG and with a game in hand, as are Marseille. Man, this league is getting tight, isn't it? Marin didn't play any minutes whatsoever, came on right at the end. Kanate, 7.4 rating for him in the centre-back position. He is looking like a player who's just benefiting so much from his loan. You can see here, Cornet didn't do a great deal. Markovic did okay. I mean, let's be fair. He held PSG to a 1-1 draw at centre-back, so I'm not going to knock his performance. And for Shadas, I mean, he couldn't carry Nîmes to a win over Brest there. Brest, of course, another one of the newly promoted teams. Wallace wants a new contract. He's on £39,000 a week. How much does he want a week? Real Madrid are interested. That's always a bit of a concern. I'm going to set his squad status as a rotation here to see if that lowers his expectations. I mean, if you're willing to go down to 50, I can give you the new contract. Well, it's only going to add an extra year on his current deal, which probably isn't worth it. Wallace, what's up? He's happy that we've come and talked to him about it. I mean, the fact that Real Madrid is interested is a relatively good sign for him. Glenn Kamara is thinking about leaving the club due to lack of playtime. You know what? I've brought this guy in to be kind of the backup to Lucas Romero and Toussaint, but maybe I need to give him a bit of game time. He actually looks like a very, very competent defensive midfielder. Yes, we brought him in to be a big backup, but I think there probably is room to fit him into the team. If we just compare him to Lucas Romero, who hopefully I can find in this long list of players, there's not a massive difference between them. Lucas Romero is undoubtedly the better player, but I like Glenn Kamara as a backup option. I'm just going to tell him that we're playing really well and please be patient. And fortunately for me, he's listened to me. He respects my opinion. Kitos. Kamara. Kitos. Right, let's have a look at this. Mario Ferreira. 3 goals, 4 appearances. Player of the month. Love that. Love that a lot. I'm really excited that he's doing so well at Sochaux, of course, a club who I do have a bit of a affinity with after managing them last year in FM. You can see here, Toulouse, looking at their team, going to be playing a potentially conservative 4-1-4-1. Probably another game in which it's best for us to go with our direct attacking system. Our scouts have thrown up a few suggestions here. There's this youngster playing for Dortmund. He's a regen. I mean, how much do they want for him? He looks very good. My concern is how much do they actually want for him? Because I feel like this is going to be one of those players where we bid and they want 80 million. 4.4. What's the catch? Is it that he's not as good as my scouts think he is? Do Dortmund know him better than I do? I mean, he looks relatively good, doesn't he? Started at Schalke, went to Dortmund. Bit of a mercenary if he now joins us. Of course, we have got a little bit of money to spend here. 8 million in the bank, which of course was given to us. And our wage budget is relatively, well, healthy, at least at the moment, despite the fact we've given some players wage rises. Worth noting here, between last episode and this episode, I did have a look at just players whose contracts were expiring in a year. I didn't actually select to scout any of them. There wasn't any players, to be honest, who stood out as super kind of, oh my gosh, I must sign this person at all costs. But much like we did last year, it's probably worth, you know, scouting these players in advance, these players at the top end of things, just to see if any of them are, you know, exceptional players. that come January we should be, you know, submitting offers for. You never know. There's occasionally good little players in here, players who slip through the cracks. There's a few names I recognise. I saw Ribéry here, who would be okay, and Nkunku. I've seen do okay in Football Manager in the past. It's probably worth scouting a little bit lower, to be honest. I noticed Patrick Roberts in this list. There are some good players here. I'm just not sure any of them tick their box for kind of what we are looking for in our players right now. Marcel Schmidt here actually seems pretty good. His wage demands aren't small. I'd quite like to lock him, obviously, into one of our long-term contracts if we can. Even if that means giving him a bit of a wage rise. Let's have a look. Okay, £7 grand a week. Some raises when he plays games I can deal with, to be honest. I mean, he looks very good on the face of things. He's playing for the German under-19s team. Of course, in FM19, the German national team is all properly licensed. So you can have a look here. They've got Philippe Wach. That's definitely not how you say his name. This guy looks incredible. Jeez. I mean, how much Dortmund? I'm going to guess 42 million. 56 million. Wasn't that far off. Don't think I can justify that for a 16-year-old, no matter how good he is. Just looking at the rest of the team, there's nothing too crazy going on there. Oh, actually, the German national team isn't licensed. Huh. That's weird. I thought it was this year. Am I going crazy? Answers on a postcard, please. Anyway, let's get into the game against Toulouse. They're 9th, so they're pretty good. It would be fair to say. They actually start the season a little bit better than 9th, I feel like, and have dropped off as of late. We've got some players who are developing okay. Mark Maynard. I mean, look at that. Marky boy. What have they been putting in your cereal, son? You've learnt to jump. 8.8 to a 10. I have noticed the jumping reach does seem to randomly spike. Kind of often. Let's just have a look at our under-18s. Are there any players who are kind of really improving? Felly's doing pretty well. He looks very good. What are we training him in at the moment? Roman playmaker on support. That is probably about right for him. He's not the best technically. It'd be good to get him a little better, perhaps going forward as well. We are training his long shots. I'm just wondering about training his shooting as well. That'd help with his technique as well. His technicals in general are a little bit lacking. Unfortunately, a few players who we did bring in haven't really developed. Players like Gronley, who looks like he should be very, very good, but he's just not really developed a great deal since he's come to the club, which I don't really know what to think of. You can see he's played for the reserves a little bit. In terms of our big hot prospects, obviously Kone is developing very nicely. He looks great. Laurier Ball has had a few issues with injury this year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can see a groin strain, a hamstring strain. I'm hoping he's not injury prone because he looked like the best of the bunch in terms of our young players breaking into the team. You can see he actually looks very good. Lots of 14s in his physicals already. 14 dribbling, 15 first touch. That's all very, very appealing. For him, we're already training his shooting. In fact, we're already training kind of what I'd want to be training for him. So he's looking good. We've got players like Mark Maynard, who we saw is improving a hell of a lot. What are we training you in, Mark? Box-to-box midfielder. That is probably about right for you. Jean-Marc Vincent is looking very, very solid at centre attacking mid. In fact, across the board, we're looking pretty good. If we just look at our reserve team as well, you can see we have got, obviously, a lot of strength in depth in our team. There's a lot of players here on longer kind of, term deals. So I'm hoping we'll one day break into the first team. You can see there are a handful of players here with contracts expiring at the end of the year. All of these just players I could probably just mark for release, to be honest. In terms of we're not going to be renewing their contracts. So we'll just set them. I think setting them for release will work. We'll have to check that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that will just mark them all for release. You can see here, Fekir suffering from flu. We can send him home for 7 to 8 days, or we can send him to the doctor for 1 day. I mean, what is our doctor going to give him? Whatever it is, I want some of it whenever I get sick. If I could get over the flu in a day, my word, I'd be so much more productive. Olmo is unhappy about his quickness training. I'm just going to ditch that. He's complaining about it constantly. Damien Papon, how are you looking? 15 years old, loads of potential. A player who I don't feel as familiar with. Training him as a box-to-box player again. He's lacking a little bit going forward, but he's okay. What's he complaining about? He's not complaining about everything. He's just developing well. I mean, that's what I want to hear. What's your current deal, Ferreira? Okay, it's a 4-year deal. 3.5 years now, really, halfway through the season. He looks very, very good. I think I might start a fan club for him and Trincao as young Portuguese attacking midfielders. Need a fancy name. The Kia resumes full fitness. I mean, he's got 3 assists now. I mean, what has happened to him? Schmidt is set to join us for 2.3 million. I'm going to delay that just because I would like to get further scout reports on him. On the face of it, he looks very good. How much is it we're paying? 2.3 million? It's not a massive amount either, and he is only 16. I mean, good job to whoever our scout was who flagged him up initially. He's a player we'll definitely keep an eye on, regardless of if we sign him or not. Also, shout out to our scout for recommending Kylian Mbappe. Never heard of that guy, so I'm glad that he's been flagged up. Jimenez is unhappy at the moment, which is interesting. Is he not playing a lot, or is he... What's your issue? What's your issue? Oh, you want a new contract? You're one of those. One of those. We've had a few of those. He's doing an hour. Is Jimenez trying to force a move away? Do not like that in a player at all. Very snaky. Right, how are we looking for today's game? It's dawned on me. Did I rest my players? I'm not sure if we did. Fakir coming back from his flu. I'm actually going to rotate him. I'm going to rotate a few other bits as well. We're going to bring in Martinez. We're going to bring in Saint Maximin. We'll bring in Romero, I think, for Toussaint. At the back, do I want to change anything? I feel like our back four, to be honest, has been very, very solid all year, so I don't want to pointlessly rotate it. I'm just wondering if there's any players we've barely given any first-team football to at all who deserve a bit more of a nod. I mean, Trincao and Nanon, when they've played, have played very, very well. I'm going to have Trincao on the bench. I'm going to be honest, Terrier, you had 10 appearances on off the bench. I've never really started you, but you've not done a great deal, and your potential compared to some of your peers isn't that great. He did recently sign a new deal, and he looks like he should be very, very good. But that potential does have me worried that he might already be hitting his potential. And if he is it worth trying to sell him on whilst he's hot, whilst perhaps other teams think he has more to live up to, and he is valued at 20 million. Who else we got here? Players like Pape Cech as well. He's not really improved, has he, over the years that we've been here at the club. But the year and a half we've been here has potential to be a leading player. But if we just compare him to 12 months ago, I don't know, for a player in his early 20s, I know he's not played a lot of first-team football. You'd hope to see a little more development than that, in all honesty. I'm actually going to drop Bertrand to the bench for Francisco Trincao. He's not fully fit. Fitness test not required. 85% condition, though. You know what? No, we'll pay TRAORE again, I think. I'm having second thoughts. Is there anyone else here who I'd like to play? I am half tempted just to change our back two. Just bring Nanon and Marcelo into the team. Maybe even just Denea at right back. Just to give, you know, a few of our players who are more backup players a run out. We could also bring in Moreno at left back now I think about it. Just kind of fully commit to the rotated 11. As much as that might seem like a weird decision, I think this is our game in hand today. Against Toulouse. Is it our game in hand? No, it's not. When is our game in hand going to be? That's going to be an interesting one. Might be having it held on to for a while. But no, at least I feel like while we're ahead in the table, there's not too much pressure. And at the same time, I feel like our backups have performed well when we've given them a chance. I'm not too scared of bringing them into this kind of game. So yeah, Saint Maximin, Romero, Aouar, even Dembele and Moreno, I guess to an extent, as well as the entire back four. Not regular to the first team, but players who, when we have given them opportunities this season, have just been top draw. We saw them last episode do it. More of the same today to please. Denea at right back was top draw last time we saw him play it. I want to see it again today, please, Denea. Show me what you're made of. And well, let's see how we get on here against Toulouse. They are playing us here at Lyon's ground. What is our ground called? I don't actually know. That's bad that I don't know the name of the ground and I've been here a year and a half. Oh my gosh, that effort by Max Gradle. Not far over the crossbar. We're playing at the Groupama Stadium. I assume Groupama is a sponsor of some kind. It's not a particularly catchy name. I'm trying to think why I don't like it, and I can't tell you. It'll grow on me, I'm sure. Anyway, we're pressing them high here. I'm a little bit concerned that we have 2 players pressing. Playing the direct attacking style of play, of course. It's really served us well the last couple of games. Hoping we're going to find a breakthrough here. Of course, no Martinez today at the top. It's going to be Dembele. Our lovely run. No finish at the end of it. Skews it wide. He is our mini Fekir, I feel like, Awar. Hoping that he can put in another top draw performance for us today. You know, there is a little bit of pressure on his shoulders. Angers beating PSG. Yes, please. Now we just need to get a penalty and score it. Gnanon. I mean, the ref's got to give this, right? Yeah, he is. Who's taking it? Dembele? It's going to be Dembele in Fekir's absence. Of course, Fekir missed a penalty not that long ago. Can Dembele show us what he's made of? The keeper goes the right way. But I feel like there was no chance of him ever getting to that penalty. It was so well hit by Moussa Dembele into that bottom corner. It's only his 4th goal of the season, which as we approach kind of December time is a teeny bit concerning. In fact, are we in December yet? We must be very close. In fact, we are. We're on the 4th of December. I've got 4 days of my advent calendar chocolate to eat when I get home. It's top stuff. But no, in all seriousness, 4 goals in December for Dembele is really not ideal. Of course, much like last year, the goals across our team are very widely and evenly spread. You know, you look at players like Bertrand Traoré, Saint-Maximin, Depay, Fekir. Oh my gosh, get that Claire Moreno, thank you. The goals just in general for us, they're just spread across the whole team. You know, we don't really overly rely on our striker to be that spearhead in our attack, which has its benefits, but I do kind of like when you just have a goal scorer who's always going to get you 15, 20 goals a year, and you can just rely on them and they'll always play up top and they'll always score. I feel like that's one thing that during our time here at Lyon, at least so far, we've kind of lacked. Anyway, half-time here, 1-0 up. They've done nothing. They did have one chance which they hid the woodwork on as I was rambling away. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. Want to see a bit more killer edge in the second half. A more cutting edge, I should say. Not a killer edge. Killer edge sounds more violent than necessary. But no, we need to score. You know, at least one more. Get us a little bit of a goal margin. You know, let me relax as much as anything. We've been so far on top in this game. They're yet to have a shot on target in the first 50 minutes of the game. Moreno on a booking is a little concerning. I'm always tempted to bring in Mendy just to play it safe. Mendy's just been top drawer at left back as well. Marcelo going a little bit route 1 to Yago. Can we apply some pressure high up the pitch? We're closing down, trying to force an error. Marcelo, towering header, could be caught out of position here though. Bostock, Fred through Jean. Tackle is missed. Moreno trying to get across. Jimmy. I mean, we've been let off the hook there, boys. So what are we doing at the back? Before anything else happens, I'm taking off Moreno. Because if he now gets sent off immediately, I'm not going to forgive myself. Also, a free header at the back post. Don't want to see that. Do not want to see that. Do not want. I'm going to go a bit shouty. We're going to demand more. Please. We need something more. 20 minutes left. I'm going to bring in Trincao for Bertrand Traoré, who's been poor. Saint-Maximin's not been great. I kind of want to hold on to our last sub, at least for now. Can't really fault the defence too much. Although their average ratings aren't superb, they've held a clean sheet so far in this game. 10 minutes left. I've not seen any updates on the PSG score. Oh my gosh, that looked like a bad tackle. It's a straight red. They are now missing a right midfielder. Now they're just... Okay, well, this should be textbook now, right? For the last 5 minutes. It's going to finish, I think, 1-0 here. I hope it's going to finish 1-0. Can we just get this clear, please? Ball whipped in. Not like this. Gnanon, nice header. That'll do. 1-0. Hard fought, a little bit grindy, but we got the result. PSG did turn around their result, unfortunately. Auxerre won. Monaco won. Guingamp and Marseille drew. And Guingamp here, they're down in 6th. We've got them in our next game, which is going to be interesting. But yeah, good little result there. Not as good as some of the previous performances by our rotated 11. But I'm not going to fault them too much. Dembele is just 1 goal away from a 5 league game bonus. Did I include a clause for that? I feel like he moved me off in the contract negotiations and I missed that. Kanate didn't have the best game, but did okay. Cornet, goal and assist against Nim. Shadas, goal against Nice for Nim. And, well, you can see here, Markovic, 8.0 rating at centre-back again. I feel like our strategy of hoarding centre-backs might actually turn out okay, the way things are going. It feels like the clean sheets have been pretty consistent, and well, this year from us. But equally, when we get in some of these players, I mean, we're going to be in a good spot. We're going to have like 4 good enough starting centre-backs. I haven't actually worked out what we're going to do next year when it comes to the centre-backs, if Markovic and Kanate are good enough. We'll just cross that bridge when we get there, you know. I think for this next game at home against Gungan, we're going to have to play the attacking system again. And Ndombele is struggling a little bit with fitness, as is Bertrand Traoré, so we'll just make sure to rest those players. Hopefully they're going to be ready and raring to go. And equally, given the fact we have just given them a bit of a rest, coming into this game hot, I'm hoping it's going to put us in a good position. Tete has been taken home ill. I'm going to send him home. I don't want anyone else getting ill. Lenglet is now not available for selection. Not ideal. We might be a little bit fragmented at the back. Lenglet not going to be 100% fit. I'd rather not risk him at all. So it's going to be a reunion. It's going to be Marcelo and Wallace playing together once more. Last year, they were top-notch for us. You can see here, Wallace's average ratings this year, not quite as good as they were last year. I mean, it was going to be tough to match. Marcelo, on the other hand, 7.6 average rating this year in the league when we've called upon him. We'll play Dinea, I think, at right back, although we could play Lucas Romero at right back. I think we'll go with that. We are going to now need to rest Romero, I think, and hope that he comes in hot. And I think there's probably... I was going to say there's a spot for Glanon on the bench, but with us having Dinea, who can play right back and centre back, and Mendy, who probably should be starting ahead of Moreno, that does leave us with a bit of a abundance of players at left back. Not at left back, at the defence at the back. So normally I'd take off Tete and I'd bring in Glanon, but just given how things are looking, I can probably afford to bring in a more defensive option. I'm not going to have a Rashford on the bench, and also, I'm sorry, Terrier, former European Golden Boy, I'm going to give Danny Olmo a spot on the bench because he's actually played well for us. He's got 2 goals and an assist, a 7.5 average rating. I think he deserves a spot on the bench. Mendy is continuing to develop, which is absolutely fantastic news for us. Nantes have sacked their manager. Where are Nantes in the league? 15th. What was their pre-season prediction? 10th. Feels a little harsh to sack him, but I guess he just lost the dressing room. Manchester United step-up bid for Fekir. Yeah, about that United. Asking price, 120, please. At least. It would be nice. Might be a little ambitious, but you don't know unless you ask, and it's Premier League silly money season, and I want all the Premier League money. United have just lost against Everton, so if anything, they should be reacting to that by putting in a bid for Fekir of 120 million, in my opinion. Would be tricky to replace Fekir mid-season. It's not something that I really want to do, particularly if we're in a title challenge like we seem like we are going to be. It's just a case of if he tries to force a move, I might not be able to keep hold of him. Anyway, we've got this game against Gungan. I'm just thinking about it. I've put Olmo on the bench, but would I rather have Trincao on the bench? And I think the answer is I would. I'm almost tempted to start him. He got a hat-trick last time we played him. He's developing an absolute metric boat ton. To the point where I absolutely love the look of him right now as a player. You know what? We're going to give him the nod. We're going to see what he can do. I'm also tempted to play Saint-Maximin out on the left. And I'm going to do that. It might backfire spectacularly, but it feels like the right thing to do. So we're going to do it. And when it backfires, I will take full responsibility. I think this is the team we're going to go with for today's game. We're going to play the more direct attacking style of play. I do feel like that since we've switched to a Mazzala, it's worked significantly better for us. If we just look at the average ratings at Ndombele this season, you can see the role he's played as he's played them. And just in general, the games where he's played as a Mazzala, the average ratings have been a lot higher than when he's played box-to-box. Maybe not significantly so, but he's definitely had his best games as a Mazzala, you know, where he has been getting more goals and assists. He's been a lot more involved in the play higher up the pitch, which is great news. It just, I feel like that switch has really worked well in our system. It was one that we kind of did a little bit on a whim. I feel like the Mazzala and the box-to-box midfielder really aren't too different in terms of how they operate from a defensive shape. I just feel like the Mazzala offers a little more going forward. So we're going to kind of persist with it, especially in this more direct attacking style of play. It's just another body getting forward. And we do like to commit men forward. At the same time, unlike, you know, some other roles you could perhaps play in that set of mid position, I don't feel like you find him out of position too often. Anyway, Gungam here, going to be tricky. They're a good team. They're in 6th for a reason. They're playing very, very defensively. So the challenge is really for us to try and break them down. And we're going to do it early on. Lovely goal. Mendy with the ball in for Kier. Superb little finish. I hope the Manchester United scouts aren't watching this. But yeah, that is perfect. This was going to be a tricky game. I don't know if you saw the formation that they're playing. It's very defensive. Mendy whips the ball in. Oh, it's Di Canio-esque. With that finish into the bottom corner. You can see here what they're playing. It's like a deep 4-2-3-1, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure what to describe it as in truth. Either way, we're on the ball again here. Trincao to Toussaint. Have a go. I mean, there you go. Trincao with the assist. Hashtag who is Bertrand Traoré? Never heard of him. Lovely finish. Montpellier have equalised against PSG. Montpellier, if you could do me a favour, I will personally visit is Montpellier a city? I will visit the city of Montpellier and hand deliver a thank you note to the stadium if they can beat PSG. I'm a man of my word. I don't know how I'm going to fund a trip to France to just give them a hand-given note, but we'll figure that out later. Ball hoofed up clear here by Gungam. Wallace, that looked naughty in 3D. It's a yellow card. A little bit unnecessary, I feel like, Wallace. A little bit unnecessary. Hopefully he's not going to get sent off. He's got a bit of a reputation for that after the sending off against Marseille earlier on this year. 2-0 up, though. We should be high and dry, I think, already in this game. They're playing so defensively. If we could score another, I feel like it is game over. Ndombele, edge of the box, goes to Romero. Brings it forward, crosses it in. Cleared away for Kier, not far wide of that post. Almost doubled his tally for the game. It would have been another volley. Good idea. Let's tell Wallace to just ease out of tackles a little bit. Interesting that their centre-back's injured, but they're continuing to play him. We'll see if we can punish them. I'm not sure what that cross was by Fekir, by the way. That was blooming awful. Can Mendy make something better of it? Okay, Fekir, second time of asking. Back post, Trincao. Not there, but it falls to Ndombele. Now with Lucas Romero. Goes to Trincao on his left peg. Oh my gosh, that almost deflected in. I think off Dembele. He may have even tried to play the ball there. It looked like a deflection. It's gone just wide of the mark. At half-time, though, it's going to be 2-0. It's been very, very convincing. They've done not a great deal. How are PSG doing? They're winning. Montpellier, you're letting me down here. You're killing me. Alright, I'm far from pleased. More of the same. You might be thinking, chat, why would you go far from pleased? Honestly, I feel like unless you're winning 3-0, generally most players react fairly well to it, and it just eliminates any risk of complacency, you know, any risk of them taking their foot off the gas. Or at least minimises it. Of course, you can't exactly control how players work in Football Manager, but I'm sure you've experienced it. You're winning at half-time 1-0. You tell the players you're really pleased with their performance, and it completely backfires on you. So even though we're dominating this game and we are 2 goals up, I'm going to tell them. I'm just going to tell them what I think, and that is that I'm not happy. I think we could do better, and hopefully they're going to show that we could do better. Trincao, I love you. I mean, ship me with him. Make it into... Actually, it's a bit weird, isn't it? He's 19. Maybe don't do that. I forget how old I am. But, oh, if I was 18 again. No, let's not go down that route. St. Maxine, lovely ball in. Trincao tucks it away. Tasty finish. Controlled finish. Again, it kind of harps back to what I mentioned before about the fact our striker in this system doesn't actually tend to do that much. When it comes to goal scoring, it's just everyone else who gets involved. I would like to keep the clean sheet now if we could. They're bringing the ball forward here. Fofana to Melling. Edge of the box. What's he going to do? Goes to Benazet. Now with Rodolin, who hits it. I mean, fair play. I feel like Lopez could have done a little better with the goalkeeping. But he has hit it blooming hard. And it's one of those kind of stingers, I feel like. Lopez just too hot to handle for him, unfortunately. Ball brought forward here, laid inside. I don't know if we've let him have a bit too much space there to get the shot away. Maybe falls on Marcelo's shoulders. I'm kind of forgetting here that we're without Lenglet. And we are playing Lucas Romero at right back. They're still playing their defensive system. Let's see how good they are at defending set pieces. Ball whipped in. Poor crossing through, but it comes to Toussaint, who has an effort. Blocked away. And, well, just about dealt with here. Maybe we can build something from the back. Or maybe this is just the pointless highlight. We're about to find out. Toussaint. Don't break my heart. Fekir. I know you're always near. Ndombele. I don't know what rhymes with Ndombele. Anyway, the ball's cleared out. It's not ideal. It should have probably been another goal. Let's make some changes here. Right. Aouar in for Fekir. Ndombele. You've played a lot of football recently. Glenn Kamara. Go on, make your debut, son. And Dembele, come off. Martinez is going to come on and get a goal and show us what he's all about. He's like the hokey cokey, that boy. It is what it's all about, is Joseph Martinez. I don't know what that means. Anyway, Glenn Kamara, the young Finn. To Mendy. St. Maximin hits it, not far wide of the mark. Very, very decent effort. Unfortunately that we couldn't make more of it. Marcelo, can he win that header? I mean, he didn't even jump. I know your knees are struggling, Marcelo, you know, aged 32, but you can still jump. We are paying you a wage. It's appreciated. St. Maximin dispossessed. I mean, look how many men they've got back just around Martinez. They're just hooving the ball forward. They have no one in support of their striker. I wonder if they've been playing this all year, or if this is something they've kind of reactionarily switched to. I'm underwhelmed. Toussaint, Aouar, to Glenn Kamara, Trincao, Aouar, lovely football. This is liquid. Can we have an end product? Of course we can. It's Ferland Mendy. And who else was it going to be on the back post? It's our man. It's the man of the moment, the big man on campus, the head honcho, the big dog, the biggest sausage of them all. It's the Portuguese maestro. No, not Ronaldo. It's Francisco Trincao. And I'm getting deja vu with that finish. It was kind of similar to what we've seen before. In terms of, it was almost a mirror of his goal earlier on in the game, wasn't it? 4-1. I mean, could we get another? This is turning a little bit emphatic, isn't it? Wallace falls to Toussaint. Go wide again. Aouar, back post. Can't get there. Where's Trincao? Get him the hat-trick again. That's not the best ball, I'm going to be honest. Saliba trying to bring the ball forward for them. I mean, let's not concede another. We've been pretty good defensively this game. Granted, they've not really tested us. Rodolin, I mean, if we concede again, boys, it's just going to be a bit disappointing, isn't it? Toussaint to Olsen at the edge of the box. I don't like this. Saliba, okay, that should be that. No nonsense, just get it out. Or just bring it out. I mean, there's so much space for our midfield to operate in because they just stand off us. 4-1. I mean, we'll take it. It was a convincing performance. It's what we needed. PSG did scrape through that Montpellier game 2-1. In terms of other games, Lille won again, which is pretty impressive. They're good. I'm surprised. Last year they finished down in 16th. This year they're up in 3rd. Feel like they're exceeding all expectations. And to be fair, Pepe, one of the highest average ratings in the league, has really been their standout man up top as their striker. But, well, we're in early December. We're top of the league, 4 points clear, and with a game in hand. Things are going pretty well here, aren't they? We've not lost in the league since the start of October. Hopefully we can keep that going for the rest of, well, I was going to say the rest of the January and kind of Christmas period. But realistically, just the rest of the season would be grand, in truth. But no, that's going to wrap things up, I think, from me today, guys. Next episode, we're going to have the games against Salzburg. We've got Angers, who are in 18th. They're right at the bottom of the table. We've also got Guingamp in the Cup again. And we've also got Brest in 5th to take on. So some games there that probably aren't going to be all that easy and that do have some significance. And a few games which I think we can probably use to, you know, just rotate the team a little bit and make sure we have everyone happy with their kind of first team football for now. But yeah, great performance. We should, you know, before we end the episode, we should leave the dressing room. It's a bit rude to leave all the players hanging. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Very, very good performance for us there. Lots of our loanees playing football, which is what you want to see. Trincao, man of the match. I mean, Ferreira scored again. I'm getting bored of saying it, but wow, Trincao, he is just performing and performing and performing. And, well, £1.3 million, potentially looking like really well spent. Hopefully, he's going to keep that up as this year goes on. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. I do appreciate you guys watching as always. If you have watched till the end, do remember to drop a like on the video. Got any comments, questions, leave them down below. I'll try and answer them as always. And of course, I will see you guys again tomorrow. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.